Hi, I'm your host, Mr. Clean, and welcome back to the Hidden Gems podcast. Today I have with me
Aaron and
Rune.
and today we're talking about
Slenderman.
Ooh. So, how and where did Slenderman originate?
So he originated from a weekly Photoshop contest on the webpage called Something Awful. He was made just for like that Photoshop contest. It was create something spooky was the idea. So
Okay, so who created Slenderman?
A man by the name Victor Surge.
but it was Something Awful users that are the ones that created the lore and story behind the character, because Victor Surge only did the photoshopping behind it all and created like the visuals behind the character. But it was the Something Awful users that put together a story, that put together lore behind it, and headcanons and all that.
So, do you know of any alternative medias that he appears in?
So I know he appeared in a movie that I heard was really, really bad, but I also know that he has appeared in quite a few games, one of the most popular being Slenderman and the 8 Pages. And wasn't he like on a web series on YouTube? What was it called?
It was Marble Hornets.
Didn't that eventually get a movie as well?
Yeah, there was eventually a movie made on it, and they got a comic book series too, like that sold a few years ago.
So, how would you say that he gained notoriety?
Just what like basically how the internet works. It was something new, it was something spooky, so it gained popularity and notoriety within the Something Awful community, and then also it got then moved to like the creepypasta wiki page.
Oh yeah.
And so we had a bunch of young impressionable kids reading that, and it just spread like wildfire among like schools and friends and family. People, all kinds of people were talking about Slenderman, the new craze on the internet.
I really think it was just so popular because like it was something different that a lot of people aren't used to seeing, Like,
Would you say he was probably like the start of New Age horror?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
definitely.
absolutely, yeah.
I would say so as well, because I think he was probably one of the more iconic like things to kind of
One of the pioneers.
especially
pioneers
with if you take things like the Mandela catalog and how stretched they are. It just reminds me of how like stretched and lanky he is. So what were your guys' like first experiences with Slenderman?
So my first experience with Slenderman was on Roblox, because I had no idea what it was at the time. I didn't have time to be on the internet and looking at other stuff. I had stuff to do around my house. But my younger brother came to me one day. He goes, "Hey, you want to play Roblox?" I was like, "Sure." So I get out my old laptop, and we're playing. He goes, "I want to play a game called Stop It Slender." And I was like, "What the heck is this game about? What is it?" Like, I didn't want to play it. And he goes, "It's about this thing in a tuxedo that, like stalks people, and the other people have to collect pages and stuff." And I was like, "That sounds kind of dumb, but let's play it." And so that was my first introduction to Slenderman, and really the creepy pasta fandom itself. It all started with Slenderman.
My first experience with it was, I think, around the time that I gained internet access. It was like really popular. I just remember seeing it pop up a lot, and eventually I was like, "Hey, I like horror. Why not check it out?" And I fell into a wormhole, but it was deep. It was very deep wormhole, like of all these different creepypasta stories that have been circulating around the internet for like years.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I think that concludes our interview for today. I've been your host, Mr. Clean, and we'll see you next time on the Hidden Gems podcast.